Beginning, the forgotten human. They said humans were gone. Extinct. Wiped from the galaxy 5,000 cycles ago during the Purge Wars. Every world, every colony, every scrap of DNA erased. At least, that's what the Galactic Concord wanted everyone to believe. I'd grown up hearing the myths, how humanity's greed had led to their downfall, how they'd nearly destroyed the stars themselves with weapons of gravity and flame. But myths have a way of bending under the weight of truth. Because as I sat inside a dimly lit medical tent on a barren world called Elias, bleeding from a deep plasma wound, the alien doctor staring down at me was about to learn something impossible. My name is Elias Trent, and I was the last human alive. I hadn't planned to reveal myself. I'd spent years hiding among alien mercenaries, passing as one of the hybrid species from the border worlds, my features close enough, my accent practiced. But when a shard from a plasma rifle tore through my armor during a raid, I didn't have a choice. They brought me to her, Seraphine, Chief Medical Officer of the Illyrian Peace Corps. Tall, slender, skin like starlight, eyes like twin moons. She had the unmistakable aura of her kind, calm, intelligent, serene. The Illyrians were one of the most advanced species in the galaxy, capable of reading genetic patterns with a glance, healing with biolight, and even altering memories. I'd hoped she wouldn't notice. That she'd seal the wound and send me on my way. But when she placed her glowing hands over my chest, her expression changed. Her light flickered. Her breathing stopped. And her gaze froze on the faint scar that stretched across my left side, an ancient wound that no scanner could erase. "Where did you get this?" she whispered, her voice trembling. I hesitated. "Old injury. Doesn't matter." Her eyes darted to the screen beside us. "It can't be. Your genetic markers, they're human." I grabbed her wrist, but she didn't pull away. "Keep your voice down," I hissed. She looked up at me, the soft glow of her hands fading into darkness. "You're not supposed to exist." And just like that, my secret, 5,000 years in the making, was gone. The secret beneath the stars. Seraphine didn't report me immediately. Instead, she locked the tent, dimmed the lights, and began scanning my vitals again. Her expression was a storm of disbelief and awe. "You should be dust," she said quietly. "Every record of your species was erased after the purge. The Council of 12 decreed it." "I know," I said, my voice low. "That's why I stayed hidden." "But how?" "Your body, your cells are stable. There are no genetic decays, no radiation damage. It's as if you froze in time." I shrugged. "Cryostasis. Military experiment. I woke up 50 years ago in a derelict station orbiting a dead moon. No one came looking." Seraphine stepped back, her hands trembling slightly. "Do you understand what this means? The Concord's entire history is built on your extinction. If you're alive, then their story falls apart," I finished. She nodded slowly. "Yes." We sat in silence for a moment, the low hum of alien machines filling the air. I watched her eyes, luminous, gentle, curious. She wasn't like the others I'd met, bounty hunters, soldiers, scavengers. She was different. She wanted to understand, not destroy. "Why are you helping me?" I asked. Her gaze softened. "Because truth shouldn't be buried." That night, she smuggled me out of the medical camp and into the wastelands beyond the colony dome. The red sand of Elias shimmered under the twin suns as we crossed the dunes toward a hidden outpost buried beneath a canyon. "This place is off-grid," she explained. "Old research station. We can run deeper scans without alerting the Concorde." Inside, ancient machines hummed to life, their blue lights flickering across walls coated in dust. She activated a terminal, and lines of data began to scroll across the screen. "Your scar," she said. "I need to know what caused it." I hesitated, then slowly unzipped my jacket. The scar curved from my collarbone to my ribs, a rough, silvery mark that pulsed faintly when exposed to light. I got it during the purge, I said. They hit us with plasma fire. The doctors said the wound sealed with residual nanits, but I never understood why it glowed. Seraphine's hands hovered over it, glowing softly with Illyrian light. There's something inside it. A code. She looked closer. Elias, this isn't scar tissue. It's a message. My heart thudded. A message. She nodded. Encoded into your cells. Ancient biotech, human, but far beyond anything known. She began decoding the signal, and as the translation appeared on screen, her eyes widened. Its coordinates, she whispered. To a hidden vault beneath the ruins of Terra Prime Earth. I froze. Earth's gone. Vaporized. Maybe not completely, she said. If this code survived, something else might have too. That was when the alarms went off. A harsh siren filled the bunker. Red lights flashed. Seraphine spun around. The Concorde knows. They traced my access. Within seconds, we could hear the thundering of engines above, patrol ships descending. I grabbed her hand. We have to move. But the data. Take it with you, I shouted. She downloaded the coordinates into a holocrystal, slipped it into her belt, and ran beside me toward the canyon exit. Plasma fire lit up the night sky as we fled into the dunes, the air thick with dust and light. Middle continued, the chase across Alaris. For 2 days, we hid among the ruins, old human structures long buried under alien stone. Seraphine's hands glowed faintly at night as she healed my wounds, her touch warm, her voice soft. Why do you care so much? I asked one night as we sat by a dying campfire. She looked at the stars. Because my people were taught to fear yours. To believe that humans were monsters. But looking at you, she paused, smiling faintly. I see something else. Like what? Like a story that isn't finished yet. The next morning, we reached the edge of the obsidian crater, where a smuggler I once knew kept an old transport ship. We barely made it before the Concorde patrols arrived. Seraphine took the pilot's seat as I sealed the hatch. Destination, she asked. I looked at the crystal glowing in her hand. Home. The journey to Earth. We spent 6 standard days in hyperspace. Seraphine spent most of it decoding fragments of the message embedded in my scar. It's strange, she said one night, tracing the scar with a gloved finger. It's not just coordinates. It's a genetic key. As if your body is required to unlock whatever's hidden there. I frowned. A key? To what? She hesitated. To something called Project Genesis. The name made my skin crawl. That was the program that started the purge. They tried to create perfect beings, blending human and alien DNA. It went wrong. Billions died. Seraphine looked at me, realization dawning. You're one of them. I nodded slowly. The last prototype. They sealed me in cryo before the purge began. For the first time since we met, she looked afraid. Then if the Concorde finds out who you are, they'll finish what they started. She was silent for a long time, then reached out and touched my hand. Then we don't let them. The revelation. When we dropped out of hyperspace, I almost didn't recognize Earth.